Hello, I'm Garen Davis, and this is the New Hustle TV, the show where we highlight the new definition of a hustler.
My name is Amit. I'm from West LA. My line of work is real estate, and I am the new hustle. What does a hustler mean to me? I think it's kind of embedded in me. I was taught at a young age from where my dad came from. He's from Fiji. His parents passed away when he was 9 years old. 11 brothers and sisters in a 2-bedroom house. Sometimes no shoes, sometimes no socks. Obviously the education level wasn't there. And for them to hustle and survive at that time of day and that age back then, they had no other choice. And so what I've seen all my life was him never give up and sacrifice for his family. My dad came here for a better life, left everything he had over there, and came over here. Quick little story about hustling. When my dad was young, he used to caddy for the British who had invaded Fiji at that time and had brought my great-grandparents from India to work, but really kept them as grimmets, what they called, or slavery, and never took them back. And so what my dad used to do and his brothers, they used to hustle the golf course when they'd caddy at a young age and the ball would go out of bounds. Sometimes they'd go and step on the mud, or where the ball was hidden or landed in, they'd go step on it and push it down and put a little flag there. And they'd come back and tell the people who they're caddying for that they couldn't find the ball. And what they would do is go back at night with a lantern or whatever they had and find the ball, wash it off, and the next day take it to the market and sell it. And so that hustling started at my dad's age at 9, 10 years old because he had no choice. And so I picked that up, obviously, when I was born and seen him sacrifice for his family, 15, 17-hour day shifts for a better life. So hustling is embedded in the family. Do I consider myself a hustler? Growing up 80s, 90s, and knowing the word hustler, it somewhat came from a bad name where people would kind of frown upon or look down upon. And actually what they had to do, they were surviving. So if that was considered hustling in order to survive, to make the dollar or the bread or bring the food on the table, that's what it was. But in today's day and age, you have to hustle to survive. And so exactly what my dad did and what I've seen my uncles do to make it better for their families and for myself is hustling. What made me select this profession? When I came home about 9 years ago, all I knew was the streets, the lifestyle in the streets, the west side of LA, the corners of Venice and La Cienega, and in and around that side. And I knew I wanted to be better, especially when I was out there. I knew the days that I was on the streets crying, I was running the streets, I wanted to always give back. I knew I had a sense of purpose to be better. I knew that what my father and my mother did in order to raise me was not going to go in vain. They gave me an opportunity to be better by being born in this country. I just took it the opposite way. While they were hustling out on their own and providing for the family, I chose a different direction growing up. And so the profession that I chose was real estate. I knew at a point in time that I needed to help people. I needed to find what my passion was. My passion was to help people. It took me a year and some change to meditate in the darkest place possible. There was nothing out there. It was literally, if you stepped outside, you're stepping out on your tier, if that makes sense. And so I had no choice but to meditate in the middle of the most chaotic, hectic place. Going to yard, coming back, going to the chow hall, coming back, and just being, without saying much, being in my secluded section. and I had to meditate. And when I meditated and found what my passion was, when I dug deep inside, it was to help people. I didn't know how, when, where, what it was gonna be like, but I just knew I wanted to help people. That was what brought me joy. It was the smallest things I found, which was pushing the car across the street or helping a lady across the street. The littlest things that brought me joy in the most despicable place I was in. How did I get started? So from that journey on, I didn't know anybody in the market or in real estate. I started with what the old school method was. It was what the Avon ladies did. Jehovah's Witness church ladies would come every Sunday morning knocking on the doors. I started my business door knocking. I literally was doing 150 to 200 doors, almost 200 doors, but 150 for sure per day, 6 days a week. I was door knocking from house to house to house to house. In the morning, I do about 100 doors. Low-hanging fruits would be on the west side area, a mill, anywhere from 900 to 1.5 million. And I just hit constant doors. And that's how I got started. And that allowed me to build my business that way. What fears or moments of hesitation did I have before starting out? I had thousands of them. Am I good enough? I'm not good enough. Look at where I come from. I'm tatted all up. How am I gonna look? Do I have to dress the part? Am I doing the right thing? I don't have any income coming in. There's so many fears. Is this gonna work? Am I giving up? The first 1.5 years of me door knocking, I didn't get a deal from door knocking. I got 2 deals one from an uncle who actually seen me change my life, and he was like, I'll give you a shot. And he allowed me to sell his home, but I had to bring a partner on because I didn't know much. And then that partner brought me on to another deal. And so the hesitations were a lot, and I'd get rejected at the door every day because I didn't know anything. I would literally go to the door and knock, hey, would you like to sell your house? And doors get slammed, got chased by dogs. It was fun. It was, now looking back, but at that time it was more of the want. Why ain't this happen? Or the why isn't this not happening? Am I not good enough? And then the fear would set upon me. And so there wasn't any confidence at that time either. And I had to survive at the same time. And so there was a lot of hesitations and a lot of fear at that time. What challenges did or currently facing along the way? There's challenges in life all the time, man. They're every day. There's challenges that each and every one of us are facing on a daily basis. Some share it, some don't. My dad's been diagnosed with dementia 4 years ago. The guy who sacrificed everything for my betterment in life. The roles are reversed. I take care of him. I've moved back into his house. And dementia, life is memories. We can't take nothing with us. I've learned it each and every way. All we have is what we remember. When I go, I can't take nothing with me. So what you can think of me is, and the memories that you can understand and feel is what you have of me. And so being alive and having that wiped out, it's one of the worst things that I've ever witnessed. The roles have definitely reversed. I bathe him, feed him. My mom is there. I have to make sure she's okay at the same time because her emotional state is not there as well, right? She's watching her partner crumble on a day-to-day basis. So struggles, fears, and it's a lot. It's a lot. How do I stay motivated when things get tough? I'm supposed to be dead. I've been told multiple times. Even when I came home, I run into people at the store or something. The questions were like, oh, I thought you died. So motivation to me is from all forms, shapes, and sizes. I can think back to when I was on the streets of how bad it was. Yeah, I had good times. Good times meaning yeah, I had some money in my pocket, but how long did that last? And so the motivation aspect takes me back to my worst days. I have no choice, I have no choice. My back is always against the wall. I've sold $100 million in real estate, but I still fight like I have nothing. And I will always keep that dog mentality because that's all I've known. And so the motivation now is my son. The motivation now is my father, my mother. The motivation now is never to give up, my family. The motivation now is knowing like the shit can go left quick. One wrong mistake, one wrong move, one wrong judgment, one wrong thought that takes me back to where I came from, right, can go wrong. But have I grown from that? Absolutely. Do I know better now? 1,000%. Do I know where those roads lead? 1,000,000%. Do I choose not to go there? Absolutely. The motivation has to be driven from within. Did I choose my profession for the love of it or for the money? It's always been for the love. It's because I've always wanted to help people. It goes back to my story of what happens under a household. Love is created. You go through your ups and downs, birth, death, but it's memories. It's core memories of what happens, everything under a roof. So if I could help somebody achieve that beautification of a family growing, of your ups, your downs, I'd be satisfied. I'd be happy. And that's where my passion came from. The money just comes with it. You know, that's just there. Do I have goals to sell 100 million a year? Yes, 100%. But what would that allow me to do when I sell 100 million a year? That would give me an opportunity to help others. That's how I look at it. The money's there, it'll come. But what will that do versus how it used to be of hustling? No, it's me, ego, pride, selfish, self-centered, greed. Greed is the biggest downfall in mankind when it comes to money. If you're righteous within your soul and you're helping people with a purpose, and you do, and I've learned this the hard way. I've lost everything multiple times. I've slept in cars, slept on the streets, slept in cars that didn't belong to me. And so it's like I've been through the motels, down Century. I've done it all. I'm 41. And so growing up in the 80s, 90s, where people thought, you know, people moving here now is a whole different story. They're like, oh shit, we can go to Abercrombie. Venice is beautiful. $8 million houses. You couldn't go out at night. You couldn't cross the street at night. Where I was growing up, it was my street, Filipino gang, Hispanic gang, one block over, another Hispanic gang, one block over, one more block over, another Hispanic gang. Crips on this side, the other Crips on this side. So it was the 80s and 90s of just walking out your doorstep and seeing that. And so I'm circling back to the love of helping people instead of the money. What would I tell my younger self if I could go back in time? I ask that question to myself probably at least twice, 3 times a week, 4 times. And I ask myself that question is because I want to be able to help others. I want to help the youth as I have before. I mentor kids. I go to schools to speak at. I go to juvenile halls to speak at. I go to continuation schools to speak at. I go to middle schools, elementary. I've been doing that since I was 18 when I had a moment of clarity. From 18 to 19, I had a moment of clarity, but then I fell back in the trap. Didn't come home till I was 32, 31, 32. And so it was all my teens. 18 to 19, I was okay because I needed to get better. But what happened was I came back to the same people and places and things. Fell right back in the trap. And then I didn't come home till God was ready to bring me home for my mistakes. And so my younger self is, if I would have gone to college, 100%. That's something, I know I got my GED. And so that was at the age of 19. And I have multiple schools, continuation schools, multiple schools. I was sent to New Zealand. I was sent across the world at a young age. I was brought back. Private school, high schools, continuation schools, and it was all trying to get better. And they didn't know any better because I'm first generation here, right? So they didn't go through this prior to me, and they thought, you know, being Indian or Fijian Indian, you're looking at what I was told, like even in the streets, is like, you're supposed to be a lawyer, doctor, engineer, or some shit in that field. What the fuck are you doing over here? And it was the total opposite. And so we learn from our mistakes. But my younger self, I would have definitely listened because they were telling me. Would I give someone else who was starting out in the same field? It's a dog-eat-dog world, right? There's 200-some thousand, 300,000 real estate agents in California itself, or 400,000, something like that, lost count. And so not all of them are practicing, but you have to be willing to sacrifice. When I mean sacrifice, I give it my all. It's not a part-time gig for me. It ain't me making a couple dollars here and there. It ain't about the dollar amount either. It's me driving to wherever I gotta go, sacrificing my family time, giving up my time. I do this 7 days a week. Right before I got here, I had 4 showings. After this, I have 6 showings. And that was set up because it didn't happen overnight. That was set up because of my nonstop grind. Like, I'm still on the computer and working 11, 12 o'clock. I tell my clients, you can call me anytime, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. I get text messages all the time. And so it's like the door knocking, a lot of people don't do, right? That was the grit. That was the hustle. I started door knocking Bel Air, right? So I was door knocking the West Side. In the beginning, I was everywhere. I was East LA, West LA, Culver City, Santa Monica, Palisades, Bel Air, right? I was like, I've never been to Bel Air. Never. In being in LA, one day I just pulled up. I had my slacks on, dress shoes, long sleeves. I was tatted, so I was just like, oh shit, they might judge me, right? And so slacks, collared shirt, start door knocking, right? Never been to Bel Air. Here's a quick story. Pulled up to Stone Canyon, parked on Stone Canyon. Never been to Stone Canyon. Didn't even know what the Bel Air Hotel was. Nothing. I didn't even know UCLA was off of Sunset in the backside. And so I hop out, door knocking, boom. These are large homes, mind you, so they take longer. Security, gates up front, I'm pressing the bell. So I'm doing 50, so I do 100 low-hanging fruits, anywhere from $1 million to $2 million. And then I do $30 million cribs, $40 million cribs, $50 million cribs, $10 to $50 million, $100 million cribs. I wouldn't care, I would just go. And the rejection was at an all-time high. Did I get in front of the owners? Not as much. Were dogs being chased? Yeah. Were gates opening? Some. Mainly talking or speaking to housekeepers. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Amit. And then you gotta get in the flow and the lingo. But at night, I write handwritten cards. Every night, 50 of them. This is 11 p.m., 12 a.m., writing handwritten cards, little fold-up cards. And the owners wouldn't be there, or they would be there, and the housekeeper would come out, I'd hand them out. Boom. So I'm walking up Stone Canyon, coming down drenched in sweat. I pull up to this house, old home, older home. If you know who George Burns is, he was an old school comedian, smoked cigars, glasses, circular glasses. And so I thought George Burns lives there because it was like a French chateau, blue with a ballroom, the luscious garden, an acre flat, an acre going uphill, acre and a half going uphill. And I was like, damn, who lives here? Some old, like it felt old, like old money. Press the bell. The house is way pushed back inside. So this lady comes out, Maria. Now we know her name is Maria. I was like, hola, ¿cómo estás? You got to be able to adapt when you're door knocking. There's a skill to door knocking too, right? And so that picks up after a time, or you learn that over time. And so I played my script, like, hola, ¿cómo estás? I'm such and such. Woo, woo. Can you give this to the owner? She was like, yeah. I was like, out of curiosity, I just asked. I don't know. I was like, who lives here? She started laughing. She's like, I don't know. I was like, okay, thank you. Give the card. We're coming back up the hill and going down, and maybe about 20 feet across Stone Canyon, this lady's coming out. She's walking out, and she's walking out with her best friend, Val, and she's coming out the gate, and she sees us walking down the hill, and she's like, hey, did you guys leave a red card here? I'm like, what the fuck, who is that? And so we're like, yeah. Walking down the hill, get closer, and she's like, let me talk to you. I was like, shit, we're in trouble, right? That was the first thought. Like, oh shit, we're in trouble, wrong neighborhood, what's going on? Police are coming. That was straight up, that was the first thought. Fuck. Get closer, get closer, get closer. It's Serena Williams. And coolest conversation ever. Middle of Stone Canyon. Family, life. She just won the Australian Open. She didn't announce she was pregnant. And I seen a little bulge on her stomach, and she was holding it like, she had her hands like this. I told my boy, he was next to me, Greg. And I didn't tell him then, of course, but I told him later. I was like, "Dog, I think she's pregnant." Getting back to the office, right? But we had just the epic conversation. Such a candid, calm, nonchalant conversation. Didn't want to ask for her phone number, asked for her assistant's number, Dakota, shout out to Dakota, and get back to the office and call Dakota. "Hey Dakota, such and such, met Serena right now, real estate agent, let us know what you can, do you need anything? Okay, cool, thanks, bye," and hung up real quick, right? Nervous as shit. Didn't know, like, all right, this shit ain't never gonna happen. Got a photo outside of Serena's house with Serena and Val, shout out to Val, and then the next day, get a call from Dakota. "Hey, can you send some homes? Serena wants to look at 5 or 6 homes." Holy shit. What the fuck? Palms are sweaty. What the fuck is going on? Is this real? What the hell? Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Right? And so it was amazing. Ended up selling her house for $8.1 million, helping her buy a place for $7 million, helped her pack her house, and help her move her stuff. Basically became the ground troops and soldiers that were needed down here to shift and to make sure her family was happy and taken care of. But it's the same thing what I tell people as well. That condo that I sold in Compton or in Torrance or in Carson for $283,000, $300,000, I did the same thing. I treat everybody with the same level of love and respect that we all should be treated with. And so I was myself, and she gave us the opportunity, which is huge because we know her story. And what I can tell on behalf of that is from the get-go, it's always been love. She has always showed love, been the nicest, most down-to-earth person, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And that just goes to show that you can start anywhere. And I still have a great relationship with her. We text the other day, and so it's just being of service. That's what life is about, being of service. And same thing in this field and starting off. You just got to be of service. What encouraging words can I leave to another hustler starting out? I think Nip said it best. The highest human act is to inspire. And that's what I've always lived by. Even prior to hearing that quote, is to inspire, because if I can inspire another person, they could go help their family. They could help their timeline. Maybe they're not given that opportunity or weren't born with that opportunity. But if I could help change a mindset, help change someone's point of view in life, help an opportunity, or have them to think further, my goal is to help change the trajectory of every family or any family I can help with. To help their sons, their daughters, their grandkids with an opportunity in real estate. Because all we have around us, and we're surrounded by land, everywhere you step is somewhat owned. Besides, if you break it down, the bank owns it, you own them, you owe them, and so on and so forth. We can go down that path, that's another avenue. But when you're purchasing something, you're owning a piece of an APN number, which is an assessor's parcel number. And so what that is, it equivalates to money, essentially. Because everywhere we step, where we're at right now, this belongs to someone. We're renting it, we're leasing this spot, we're paying somebody. And so if we can teach the underprivileged youth that there are opportunities in real estate this way. And so the giving up is easy. Anybody can do that. The failing, the F's, the fuck it's of doing bad, you turn it into good. Like, fuck it, what am I gonna lose from it? I'm gonna get rejected. I'm always been rejected. What can I do better? How can I get better? And there's no giving up. If you give up, for me, it's more so of for the weak, and the weak meaning like I wanted to give up so many times. Like the shit ain't working. Why am I doing this? It's easier to do this. But then the mentality of what do I get from it? Am I able to share or give back that way? I'm not able to reach my potentials, my heights, what I really want to do. And so the aspect of giving up is not in my vocab. My name is Amit. I'm from West LA. My line of work is real estate, and I am the new hustle.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on. And again, thank you. Until next time, hustlers.